Hello, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. I'm back. It's Sunday. I'm sorry I didn't give much of a warning and I'm late. Um, Meltdowns and then just trying to sprint through to get to you guys. So Sydney has already purchased a reading. Remember, this week they are not free. I am charging now $5 per question. So unless I receive your payment through PayPal, and KK will include that. I've received Sydney's payment. I will not be answering your questions. So the payment is $5 per question, one question per person. 30% of the proceeds will be going to the Community Food Bank of New Jersey this week. I do have something new on my website where if you put your email, subscribe to my website and put your email in, I will include you in a drawing for a once a month drawing for a free 30-minute reading. As long as you're subscribed every month, you will get included into that reading or into that drawing. I'm doing it this way because I'm trying to figure out how to have a little bit less. This was 2.5 hours last time. So I got Sydney's. If the payment has to actually go through, it can't just be waiting on me. So let me get into PayPal and, but I did get Sydney's payment already. Of course, I'm trying to rush. I know I should use the fingerprint thing. It would make it quicker, right? Okay, I have Marilyn and Sydney's. So we'll do Sydney first if you're here, and Marilyn. Through PayPal, it's the shorthand is PayPal, PAYPAL.me/Anna, ANALISA MSF/ and if you put a 5 after it, it pays the $5 right away. You don't have to put it in. So and my family is doing well. Thank you. We did have a little bit of a meltdown tonight. That's why I was a little bit late. It is Labor Day weekend. I'm sorry I didn't get much of a warning put through. So again, if you go and sign up and subscribe to my webpage, you'll get you will be permanently then every month I will draw for a free 30-minute reading. That's a way for me to give back to you and do something free. And then you get like the full on where I read your whole energy and all of that. So I think it's a really good experience. I've heard it's a really good experience. So Sydney, you're up. Hi there. I'm Sydney. I've been told that I have a past love coming back in January. Can you give you any details? All right. And then I have Marilyn as the next one. KK, MARILYN, last initial M. Okay. And then we'll just see what else comes after that. All right, Sydney wants to know about a past life coming back in January. So what's interesting is I'm not going to negate what somebody else did because I don't. When someone is reading for you, they're seeing timelines, right? So that's why I say I can be wrong in that you can change your timeline, change what you're looking for. What I feel is that, yes, someone is coming back in January. It is an old love, but I feel like it's a bomb. Like it's not the feeling I get. It's not what you hope or expect it to be, but what you're hoping for is actually coming in mid to late February, very early March period is where I feel more of a love connection coming through. I got Anna next, I believe. Hang on. Oh, look at you guys. Amber Mallory is next. I'll probably have a few more coming through. So it doesn't feel like the love returning doesn't feel like something that's going to last or connect. It's actually like sort of that feeling of this is somebody that when we broke it off, I still had feelings and I always wondered what if, and it was sort of like the feeling I get is like, when you have a high school crush or that college like thing that just didn't work out just because of circumstantial, not because it was this horrible, like whatever. But when this person comes back into your life, it feels like they're not the person you remember them to be, or they don't live up to this idea that you built in your head of who they are, mostly not because they're a bad person or you misjudged it, just you've grown and you've kind of come to this different spot in life. But I actually feel like something more serious will be coming in like February, March timeframe. So not long afterwards. So it feels like they kind of come in. It's more like maybe they're visiting or something like that. And it's like just like a one-off meeting, maybe 2 times we hang out, and just realizing that we have different ideals and different ways we see the world because you've grown. I don't know if that makes sense to you at all, or if you can give me any validation on that. So I'm going to write down Sydney here because we did yours. And we'll add some people to the list. So Marilyn would be after Sydney, then Amber Mallory, then Marlene, and then Mallory Garcia, and then Melissa Irwin. Y'all, I'm excited. I really want to be able to donate some. I mean, I might even bump it up to 50%. I haven't even I get really excited about donating to causes. It's a little ridiculous, but I just like helping people out. Okay. So Marilyn, did you type your question, Marilyn? I don't know what your screen name would be. Marilyn, I don't know what your screen name is, so I'm waiting for you. Kitkat equals Marilyn. Thank you. I didn't. Oh, you know what? Maybe I just didn't see it. I'm sorry, because I was just looking through. You know what? The way it shows in the app, unless I look at the details. So thank you. I'm sorry I didn't see that. I'll have to look for that from now on out. It might just be the way it is in my app. I'm sorry. Thanks for being patient with me. Okay, Kitkat. Let's see. Attached my YouTube username. Oh, okay. I don't know why it didn't. It could just be the way the app is. Maybe I need to go into the thing. Will I get to meet the guy who drives the red motorcycle past me soon? Oh. I used to go on rides with my friend in college. I'd ride, he had a motorcycle. We'd go for rides, like out in the country in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. There's a lot of farmland out there. Okay, so I heard Sooner Than You Think. What's interesting is I keep seeing the image of him sitting on his bike, like parked next to the curb. So for some reason he stopped and like picking something off the ground and either handing it to you and that's where I don't know, that's where the connection is. It's not like it's like this knight in shining armor where he's like got this little bit of a, like his brown locks or anything like shaking. I like taking his helmet off. Sorry, I'm like this because that's what I imagine. Like when they do the slow-mo pan of the guy, the dude or the girl taking their motorcycle helmet off and their hair is a little bit longer. It's not like that. It just feels like a natural, like maybe I'm stopped to get something at like a bodega or something, a corner store. And then we sort of have like a meet cute kind of thing. This is another one though that I sort of feel like let down. And I give the example of I was in Mexico with my girlfriends years ago. And we were at a resort. It was like actually, oddly enough, sort of like more family people were there. It was like maybe we just weren't there at the right time of the year. I don't know. But we weren't looking for the college experience because we were out of college. We just wanted to like relax and have unlimited drinks. And there was this like hot dad there. And he was like really hot. And then he talked. And his voice just kind of ruined it. And it was like sort of that, like you have this image of who this person is, and then like you're sort of like let down, like the dream was better than the reality. But I do feel like you're going to meet somebody, and who you meet may actually, like to date, may actually have a motorcycle. I feel like motorcycle dude may not, I don't know. I don't know if it's like, there's just something about his personality that it just feels like the dream was better than reality. So that was Kitkat. My watch is buzzing. That means y'all are doing this, and this makes me super, super excited. So that was, let's see. I'm trying to go. Let me go to the activity thing and see if I can get, because, oh my goodness, y'all, this is so exciting. Okay. Why didn't Cindy show up here? Oh, there she is. Anna Hooven I have next. There was Marilyn. I might have changed the order, but just the way they're coming in, I didn't see Anna Hooven. She donated $10. So if you guys don't mind, I'll do Anna Hooven because that's how it came in. If I look at it differently, it comes up differently. My goodness. Thank you for the compliments on my smile. I got all my attachments from my Invisalign. They're so awesome. I don't know if you can see them. I'm working on straightening them. I had snaggletooth for a while, and it was actually like kind of messing up my bite. And I was like, it was like my jaw was hurting at night. So, so Anna, let me try and find your question. I don't know what your name is on here. Yeah, I just, because for some reason, and then you can, once I've read, if you want to, you know what, if you want to type your name as it goes on, thank you for the idea, KK, as it is on PayPal. And then as soon as I read your question, you want to delete it. That's super fine. Because then I can find you quick. And then it's not, your name's not permanently on here, and you still have a little bit of anonymity. Because I want to give you that a little bit. Okay. Who's Anna? Anna Hooven. Let me see. This is a little bit harder, and I apologize, but I think this is gonna, Anna Hooven. And not to be like a stink pot, but it looks like I don't know if my numbers are down because it's a holiday weekend or because I'm asking you to pay. But that's okay. All right, I might, country. Where are you, country? Hi. Okay, ask me your question, love. For some reason on the app that I'm using, the username is not showing up in your notes, which sort of defeats the purpose of having a note. Where are you, country? I donated for 2 questions. Okay. Today's the only day you can donate for 2 questions, and then we're going back to 1 because I'm trying to find ways to not be on here for 2.5 hours. So ask your first question, then we'll ask your second question, and then I'm not going to scold you. Wait, that you didn't have 6 what? Children? I'm kidding. Oh, I think you didn't mean 6, did you? That's what I. Okay. I just realized I was like, oh, that's what you. Well, better than 6 children. Okay. Well, how did country know that you paid $10 then? All right, let me see if there's a note on here. Y'all, don't be stinky. Starry Sky is Anna Hooven. Country, what are you doing? Don't be sneaky. That's not cool. Did you pay for 10 too? Did you pay $10 too? Let me see. Hang on. Country, what's your name on here? Country, what's your name on here? What's your name on your PayPal? GM Pundit? GME? Okay. All right. I'll do yours first. And then just because there was the mix up, that's fine. And then, oh, yikes, and then, cause you did pay 10. Okay. And then just be patient with me. This is a new thing. We'll find a better way to do this. Okay. Maybe what we'll do is have you guys pay like ahead of the thing and I make my list and like, I'll have like a time period of when you can do the readings or doing the payment. And then we'll come in and do it like that. Okay. All right. Sorry. Okay. Country. I'm still doing yours. And then just because this is just the way it went all wonky. And then Starry Sky, you're up. Okay. All right. So how did Ryan feel that he didn't have sex? And what are his feelings? I honestly don't think that he cared that you didn't. I feel like he like understood and actually had a little bit more respect. I mean, I think he was disappointed, but I don't think that he was mad or anything. And what does he want with you? It's funny because I don't feel like he thinks like long term. I think he's thinking in the short term. I'm really enjoying this. I just want to see where it goes, but I'm not like he's not somebody who's going to get hit over the head and go, this is the one I'm going to marry. Like he's kind of like, this is cool for a while. Like I'm enjoying her. I want to get to know her. He's not, I don't want to say multifaceted, but it's not like he's a serial monogamist. You know, there's those guys who just go from like long-term to long-term to long-term relationship, and women. He's not like that. I feel like he's just sort of, I don't even know what a sign would be. That would be like somebody who's just like enjoying the moment and seeing where things go. Okay, so that was country. Now, Miss Starry Sky. Okay, and let me give her list real quick so she knows where we're at with payments. All right, so I've got, and then please nobody else do 2 questions each because I want to keep it down. All right, so there was Sydney, Marilyn, Anna, Amber, Marlene, Mallory, Melissa, Devry, Am I going too fast? Sorry. Lisbeth Underwood. What if it's secretly Carrie Underwood, guys? I don't know if it is. We already did GME. Virginia. Shaheen. Aleida. Aleida. Elizabeth. So the first one is Lisbeth, no E. And then this one is Elizabeth. And then Maria Sanchez Perez. So, Starry Sky, where are we at? Chanel Underwood. Close. I bet you're just as amazing. Yes, Dulcie. That's what I just said. Maybe we'll do that where I'll have a time period where you can prepay because I don't want to have it like all week people putting money in then because we'll be at the same problem of 2.5 hours again. So now let me find Starry Sky. Do you know what? Why don't you guys wait to type your questions until I call your name because it'll help, or if you know on the list you're coming up, because it'll help me not have to scroll all the way back. So Starry Sky, if you could just retype, and then Amber, if you want to type yours, kind of while you're waiting, like so. But while the person before you is being read, if you want to type your question, that will help eliminate me scrolling and randomly talking about nothing. Just kidding. So I started this weekend. I started with my first private psychic development client, and it was so much fun. And you know, it's not just the time that I spend with you, that like the sessions that you're paying for, you get to email back and forth, and I'm going to be sending her some stuff to work on that we're going to do with for psychometrizing. And so there's like the back and forth connection and practicing doing readings and connecting in. I'm going to have some people lined up for her to actually do readings. So I'm really excited for this experience and actually helping people open up, because it's not really like, I can teach you how to actually do readings for other people. It doesn't mean you necessarily have to, but it's more practical to understand what you're picking up when you're around other people, because your intuition isn't just about, should I do this or shouldn't I do that? Or I shouldn't do that, should I? Okay, I lost the buyers for my house because my family tenants refused to move. How will the eviction hearing get them Oh, it's they're going to send it to the sheriff or whoever. I don't know. Do they send it to the Mountie? And I think you're in Canada, right? But I know, like in the United States, they send it to the sheriff's office, and then the sheriff has to go out and they serve them, and they will actually move their belongings out. And it's not like the movies, they don't leave them out on the street. They'll actually put them in like a storage locker for about a week to try and let you figure out what to do with your belongings. But you will be able to evict them. That will not be an issue. Now, I do advise you to not leave a forwarding address. There is going to be a lot of bitterness. I feel like, especially from a female in particular. I don't know if it's like an aunt or something. She feels a little bit older. But it will go in your favor, but I don't know that it's, there's a lot of bitter feelings, obviously. They won't have a choice. And I think I kept saying that you might actually have to evict them. Like you might actually have to go through that process. They won't go quietly, but they will be forced to go. Does the female make sense? Like it feels like an aunt or something. It doesn't feel like, maybe it's not an aunt, because an aunt would be a little older. It feels like, I should say somebody, close to your age, like maybe a sibling, but it's female. feels like somebody in their maybe late 50s. I feel like there's a guy too that's sort of like eggs it on, but he's more of like a little voice in her ear. Does this make sense? Amber, while you're waiting, if you want to go ahead and type your question. Do you connect with us at all, Starry Sky? Did you leave? Oh, serve them to go to court. Right. So what I think will happen is the sheriff will then come out and actually remove the belongings. Like they're going to push it through, and it feels like immediate push through to move them out. Like I know that there's that concern of like, oh, it's COVID, you can't evict. But I feel like this is sort of one of those cases where you can. Your niece, maybe. Oh, and you're the aunt, so maybe that's what it is. And is there a nephew then that like, or is there her boyfriend or something that is like the voice? Like he seems like, and I don't want to say this, but he seems sort of like trash. Like somebody who's not very educated, very ignorant, like hasn't just enough intelligence to be harmful. Meaning like, like the people that are smarter than, like they think they're smarter than they really are. Like they're not dumb, and there's just a lot of ignorance behind it. Does she have a boyfriend that lives with her too? There's some guy, like, I feel like he's like, okay. I do get something about today's the 6th. I feel like there's something about 6 weeks. So even if you think like, oh, that's like when I say it gets pushed through, like it's like not, I don't feel like there's that a huge holdup. It just feels like for whatever reason, it's 6 weeks. So it may take time to find the person that goes to the part and like does all of that stuff or whatever, but does 6 weeks make, oh, hey, her husband. And he is just like that. Like if I was in a movie, I'd be like, and it also feels like there might be some addiction issues on him. Like, I don't know if he like drinking and like, I just feel like addiction issues. But it could be something like 6 weeks out. Please like and subscribe. I know my numbers are going to be lower, maybe lower with doing it this way, but I feel like, so I think there's something about the 6 weeks too. So it might take about 6 weeks for them to actually like then for everything to work through, but I do feel like it will happen and it's not going to be an issue. So Amber, knew me who dis. Is Mikkel wife still living in the house with him? Yes, I got that right away. Yes. You don't want to move forward. Truthfully, yeah, she is. She's still there. And even if I feel like he's giving you a song and dance, like it really feels like, I feel like he's kind of like a woe is me, not a full Eeyore, but Eeyore's like, oh, well, like everything. It doesn't feel like that, but it does feel like I might fudge the truth to get your sympathy, to kind of manipulate. And I think he does that with her. I don't think he's being fully honest about where his relationship is with her. And I don't think she's as terrible as he says Her husband. Okay. I can't tell you what to do, and I've had plenty of clients who are involved with men and or because I mostly read for women, so let's just be honest. They're involved with men who have significant others and or wives, and I'm not judging you on it because I don't. You do whatever you want to do, but I usually end up, and I've done several readings over and over where I'm like, it's not going to happen. It's not going anywhere, but you do what you got to do. So it's really going to be you. It's when you decide to walk away from it, because I don't see it going anywhere. And it's sort of a learning lesson for you. Do you want to be with somebody who isn't fully available? And then I encourage you also to look at, why are you accepting or wanting to be with somebody who isn't fully available to you? What do you have going on inside of you that thinks that you don't deserve to have somebody fully available? Or subconsciously, are you really wanting to be in a relationship, or is there something kind of like holding you back? Childhood trauma, things like that I see a lot too with people. I oftentimes see women who do this, who pick somebody who's already involved, end up having history of sexual trauma and child abuse as a child, which would be child abuse as a child. And you tend to pick somebody because it's really scary to be fully emotionally and physically involved with somebody. It can be overwhelming. So those are things I encourage you to explore. I know other readers don't read this way, but I think that a huge part of our being embodied as humans, we're souls that have a body, is sort of learning to heal and overcome, and find peace within. You have daddy issues. Yeah. You're not alone. A lot of us have histories of trauma and abuse. So just know you're not alone. But I don't look, you do whatever you want, but I don't see this as a path that's going to work out well or in your favor. It feels like constant compromise and sacrifice and a lot of gaslighting, and a lot of heartache. So, but at the end of the day, you have to make your own choice on him, about him. Okay. Who's after Amber? Marlene, do you have your question posted yet? And then Mallory. So Marlene and Mallory, let's see if we've got any more payments here. I have to keep logging in. I got to figure out a way to do this better. And then Darlene, just add Darlene to the list after Maria Sanchez Perez. You're welcome, New Me Hudis. So Marlene, you're up. Mallory, if you want to go ahead and post your question. Melissa, if you want to post your question. So if one of you guys pops up first and we're still waiting on Marlene, then I will move on to the next person. So we'll have a couple of you. Go ahead, post. Melissa, are you here? Melissa's up. All right, we gotcha. Message from Spirit. Today was a very difficult day for you. I'm very sorry. The planets are not aligned in a friendly manner, but there is going to be hefty change, and that's for everybody. Lots of upheaval, lots of recognizing people for who they really are, truth being exposed, no longer able to deny or sit in your world and bubble of like, oh, they're not that bad. Yeah, they are. All right, so this is for Melissa, and then we'll grab the other two. Okay. So they said, it's funny, I saw you do that, like the nice deep breath with that too. And they said she needs to learn to take a breather to sort of, and it was like literally like just feeling like everything kind of piled around me. And they said she needs to learn to sort of pump the brakes. Literally, they said she needs to pump the brakes a little bit and set boundaries because it feels like everybody's coming at me. All of this stuff is happening. And it's almost like everybody expects me to make them happy and fulfill their happiness. I feel like there's a lot of codependency. So you're a people pleaser. It feels like sort of like I'm always trying to anticipate everybody else's needs around me. There is no judgment on you being codependent, if in fact that is where you're at. I'll get to you. Hey, I promise. Okay. It's just since you didn't answer right away, I was just trying to kind of move time along. Okay. I promise I gotcha. Melissa, does this make sense? It's that feeling of learning to put yourself first. And it doesn't mean that you're selfish or a bad person. It just means that you actually, most of the people that are codependent have codependency. Lots of nurses are codependent, believe it or not. You have a really big heart and you just want others to not have to hurt or suffer. And the problem with that is that you end up suffering and suffocating. And there's the codependency. Pump the brakes, set your boundaries. Is there a dog? So this is a dog that showed up. Maybe they're calling him a dog. First of all, are you physically safe? Because if you're not physically safe, I really do. Oh, his dog just died. Okay. Darker colored, shorter coat. Either like, it feels either like a shorter coat, like maybe a lab or a Weimaraner would have, or a pit bull would have. I don't feel like it was very nice to that dog. I gotta be honest with you. Like, even if he was like, oh, this is my dog, I love him so much, I don't think he was really nice to the dog. Short coat, small dog. The dog feels very anxious and nervous. Do you have separation anxiety issues, your dog, the dog? Okay, so know that what I'm getting then, if they're showing me that there's that connection there, that what I'm getting about stuff with you, because you can't make anybody not be abusive. You can't make anybody change, but you can change yourself, which means learning to set boundaries. Are you physically safe? Like, he's not that I'm saying one type of abuse is worse than another, but are you physically safe around him? Because if you're not, I really encourage you, like the feeling I get is having to leave and have somebody actually then come and remove him. It doesn't feel like, it feels like, okay. If you can go to like a women's shelter to do that, because I take the important stuff, anything left behind, just chalk it up to like if he breaks it or whatever, because I feel like he's really vindictive. I feel like you may actually have to like go and stay somewhere and then have him removed. I don't feel like you stay in the apartment. I got to be honest with you. If you're in an apartment, I just feel like you end up not staying. I still feel like you're leaving for some reason. So even if it's a temporary leaving, like so that he can be moved out and you're safe, it just feels like you're leaving first and then he gets moved out. And then like changing the locks, a security system. I feel like needing to do all of that. I just feel like he's vindictive. And I feel like once he moves on to his next victim, which is a really terrible way to put it, but I feel like he will find somebody again shortly. His mind is off of you because he's focused on her. And he's going to play it, woe is me, she was so terrible, you know, you're crazy, like all of that crap that abusive men do. I don't feel like this is like a lifetime of going through this. But it does feel like having to force him out. It feels like having to go through all the legal channels. I don't know that he will go to jail because I don't think that it will escalate that far, but I feel like he would do vindictive things, like just to scare you, kind of. It is difficult. But I don't feel like he'll keep at you. So even maybe the vindictive things he does is with your child, like, oh, mommy wanted it to end, like those kind of things. But I don't feel like you'll be in physical danger at a point. And that might also be where he's like, oh, what was me? Mommy was so mean. She wanted this to be over. What I will say with this as coming from a child of divorce, hold your head high. Don't speak negative of him. I would even recommend doing therapy, having your child go to therapy, but learning how to sort of deal with having to co-parent with somebody who's narcissistic and abusive. And how do you do that so that you don't create confusion with your child? You don't have to defend yourself. Your character will speak for itself. As a kid of divorce, it made it really hard because I didn't, you want to believe that, but when you're hearing both parents are saying stuff and you just don't know what to believe, eventually your kid's going to get up to a point where they know what's what and who's who. And there won't be a question. They are evil. So I'm going to leave you with that. I'm really sorry you're going through this. And maybe I know there's some energy healers on here. If you guys can help send her some love and energy, that would be really, really wonderful for healing. Hey, you're up. You're welcome, Melissa. Hey, you're feeling a little stuck in life. Should I keep doing what I'm doing in terms of work, or should I look into something else? So the way I'm going to do it is not should, because I feel like should sort of imparts my will on your journey. And I don't want to do that. So I'm going to look at it as if you stay and if you go, like look at those paths and see what's for your highest good. What I actually feel like is going to end up happening is there a way to have, like, it feels like either like a department change or a title change. It doesn't feel like I leave the company. It feels like there's movement within the company. So say I was a nurse, moving to a different unit, or if I'm work within, like a lot of advertising places are like under an umbrella, right? So like there's like this umbrella, these big, I just know it because my husband's in construction and like they've done construction and there's like several advertising offices under one umbrella. It would maybe be even moving between that, but you're still sort of under the same umbrella, but it feels like that didn't really hurt. It just feels like movement or something, or maybe even job title switch where I become manager, but it feels like this is for a purpose and for your own good and for your highest good, actually, where you stay there. I don't feel like you'll necessarily be doing exactly what you're doing, but you need the wisdom and knowledge to move forward. So some nurses leave the hospital and end up going into insurance and working with insurance companies. Like something like that, where it ends up that knowledge and wisdom sort of parlays into something else down the line. Does that make sense? Hey. I put Marlene, but I meant hey. Sorry. I'll delete that little schmealy. So your name is quiet. And then Mallory, did you type your question yet, Mallory? Did I find you? I hope I'm not going to be on here for 2 hours. And I'll find a better way to do it. I saw, you got to bear with me. Sometimes there's little bumps in the road. I saw some things on my ring cam on Friday night when I was out of town, and I'm pretty sure it was spirit. Any validation on that? So I'm getting 3. So I feel like for sure Tony, but I'm getting like, I feel like a smaller female, and then there's a third person or third spirit. So I don't know what it is. I feel like, hey, I feel like I don't know. It's movement into another something, but similar to what I'm doing is the feeling I get. So, is there any way where maybe you connect up with restaurants and you do all of their desserts or something? So you still have your business, but you're doing something else. It feels like it's whatever this is gives you growth to something else. So I don't feel like this is like a no-go forever. Like, I don't feel like I totally change and I'm like, I feel like I'm still somehow connected to what I already do. So maybe it's that you start like contracting your services out to do desserts for somewhere, or you connect up with wedding venues and do cakes for that. But it feels like I don't just stay in my own little, like just doing direct clientele work. Maybe I don't know. Is there any way where you would buy into the business? I don't know. It feels like movement, but I'm doing the same thing. So I don't feel like immediately I want to sell, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. Like that I'm sort of kicking it around and thinking about it, but it's not like I'm selling and I'm actively looking to do this. It doesn't feel like I'm young and I'm trying to get out of it, like because I'm just freaked out about the way the situation is. It would feel like this has been going on for a while and I'm like looking at retirement or something, but I still feel like there's some other part of this to you. Mallory, did that make sense to you? The 3? So did you see 3 orbs or 3? Like I actually see like a figure almost looking like a person. It seems very clear. And then like something like maybe orbs or something, but it feels like something looks more. There was 3 spots. Okay, perfect. So it feels like one of them is Tony. One of them is female, like a grandmother figure. And I'm not clear on what the third one is, to be honest with you. it feels like a younger soul, a younger spirit coming through, like a child. So I don't know if grandma lost a child or had a miscarriage or something like that, but there's 3. So I'm going to leave that with you, but it definitely was spirit activity. So Devry, Lisbeth, Underwood, please post your questions. Will Virginia be my forever home? Yes, I got that very, very clearly. However, I don't necessarily feel like the home you're in now will be your forever home. So I feel like, but close by moving. So maybe either, maybe I'm getting an apartment when I like first move and I just need somewhere to kind of like stick in, and then like something that feels like it has a little bit more space after that. Cause I see like, I'm seeing like looking out over hills or whatever, like in the mountains or something like that. Okay, so that was Jeffrey. So Lisbeth, Underwood, Virginia, Shaheen. If any of you want to post your question. Lisbeth, Underwood, Shaheen. Liz, Beth, Underwood, Shaheen. Just plugging back in to make sure. Well, there you go. Elizabeth is Lizzie. Okay, perfect. Who were you in your past life? Okay. And then Underwood and Virginia and Shaheen, if you'll start posting, that'd be great. Virginia, I think you're a spiritual seeker, so that's perfect. Underwood, I think that's starts with a C. Chanel, if you want to post yours. Who are you in your past life? Let's see. I actually feel like you were a soldier in a past life and who died in battle. I just feel such a weight on my stomach and like a crushing weight almost. And then that, like my jaw was almost broken, and I keep hearing it. And like, I was like, what am I hearing? Why am I hearing that? It's like cannons. I keep hearing like, I can't tell where I'm at though. If I'm, do you have a connection with Scotland? Like, do you feel very drawn to that? You can go ahead and close the list now. Not really. This is just what I'm being shown. You have more than one past life. I can just hear cannons in the background. Like, it doesn't sound like bombs being dropped. It sounds like that sound when you of cannons. This is going to sound weird. When you were younger, you wanted to be a soldier. So you had a soldier connection. Okay. I keep feeling here. Were you born with like either like a faint birthmark or a stork's bite. They call it a stork's bite, where it's like this like red little V. Were you born with something like that? Because that keeps feeling like really significant to me. I'm going to move on just because I want to, just for the sake of time, because I feel like I still have so many people. But that feels, there's something significant here. I don't know if you can validate any of that. Ask if you can find out or look for a baby picture. There's just something, or do you have like something here? This doesn't feel like third eye to me. This feels like there's a birthmark or a scar or something here. Spiritual seeker, what are my spiritual gifts? You're welcome. Maybe it'll make sense later, or you'll look at a picture and you'll see this, or your sister does. No, this feels like you. I'd love to pass it off on your sister and call it like, that's it. But this really feels like you. There's something connected to this and you. What does what mean? It's just, I think it's just a validation of a connection for some reason. This is weird. I actually feel like you dream about that life. Because I heard this part of you saying she still sees me like in her dreams. It's like still seeing this other person. Okay, spiritual seeker, your spiritual gifts. I get sight and sound. So I feel like I will connect through my third eye. So this means having dreams that are prophetic, even though I feel like you might call them Shasty, what do you call them? I want to remember the word. Oh fuck it, I can't remember. Anyway. Why do they want me to say this? I don't know why. But it feels like you don't attribute them to being actual prophetic dreams. You would say like, oh, deja vu. There, thank you very much. Deja vu. But it's not deja vu. I feel like you have actual prophetic dreams. And then also hearing. So I also feel like you get a quick vision, like you'll get a quick in your mind's eye, and it's like, it's fleeting. It's very quick, but of like something that's going to happen or something that's wrong with somebody, or here's an example of a dream also that you might have had. Like, so I had a landlord in Houston, and I had a dream that he came over to the house and he was just super wasted. I had several dreams of him just being like super, super ridiculously like college kind of wasted. And I remember I told him about it, and his girlfriend was there and her eyes got really big. Well, it turned out he had such an alcohol issue. I found out from a neighbor that he was actually like went to stay somewhere, like to a, inpatient facility for 30 days to kind of get through it. So I feel like there are things that you dream about that connect you. I also feel like sound, like, so you may hear something drift, like a voice as you drift off to sleep. Or they might like kind of like getting a thought through your head about somebody where like that sort of like tells you about something they're going through. Will you use them to help people? I don't think so. I think it's really for you and your connection to spirit. I think you'll help people in other ways with your intuition. So I'm going to leave you with that. Okay, so let's see who's next. Underwood, Chanel, did you post yours? You're welcome. Use tarot. Do it. It's just a tool. It doesn't mean it's like any less intuitive. Oh, caramel apple is, okay, there it is. Okay, perfect. I've been told that I'll move in with my boyfriend, Mike. Do you see that happening within the next year? And then the next, Virginia, Shaheen, Elena, if you'll post yours. I've been told that I'll move in with my boyfriend. Do you see that happening in the next year? I do feel like you will. So it feels like 12 to 14 months. So it feels like maybe shortly I sign a lease or something like that. And then when that's done, then we kind of decide to move in together. But I feel like we spend a lot of time together in the meantime. Like it sort of becomes a point of like, let's be a little bit more economical about this. What's interesting is I feel like he's more comfortable with it than you are, like the idea of it. I feel like you're more hesitant about wanting your space and like not like wanting to get sick of each other. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's sort of the feeling I get, like that like knowing you need your space and you're a bit of an introvert and like not wanting to rock the boat. Elena. So I'm waiting for Shaheen, Elizabeth, Maria, and Darlene. So Elena, you're up because you wrote your question. Do you see me getting married? And if I can't see that far, do you see someone for me in love? This is Elena. I still feel like you're on the kind of young end. Are you early 20s? It's true. Okay. Do you look really young for your age? Because I see somebody who looks like they're like maybe 23, 24. But do you look really young for your age? I don't know. That's what I'm being shown. So it feels like not needing to rush. I feel like I have time. So, but I feel like marriage in 5 years. I feel like I may meet the person in 3, then I'm like marriage in 5. And just having kind of like dumb luck with men in between now and then, like nothing serious, just maybe like 2 or 3 month type relationships. I feel like you're kind of like I was, where it's like if you don't see it going somewhere, you're not going to waste your time on it. You look really young. Okay. Like you're a no BS kind of lady. Like I don't have time for that. Like I heard no mama's boys. Like I heard I don't have time for mama's boys. Like, that's not a bad thing. It feels like just like things not lining up until then. It doesn't mean you won't be with somebody until then. It just feels like sort of, I heard he's not ready. They're not ready to be like, so for whatever reason, things aren't lined up for him. So maybe that he's in a current relationship. Maybe he needs to grow up a little bit. Maybe he's not stable or settled to a place where you would want someone, because you want the person that you married to be financially stable and have like a good head on his shoulders. And he might not be there yet, but will be there in like 3 years' time. Listen to me. I found I think I called it a pray rain journal. I like one of my manifesting journals from 2012, and I was writing stuff that's not really happening until now. It's 8 years. So just know that it's not really about the universe not wanting to give this stuff to you. You do have time. Trust me, you have time. You're going to be okay. My cousin didn't get married till she was 38 and had her last kid at 43. You have time. I actually feel like you're very fertile. You have time. It just feels like not meeting the guy that's really ready to settle down and really ready to be a grown-up until then. I feel like he's going to be a little bit shorter. I don't feel somebody really tall. So maybe 5'8". Not all men are mama's boys, but it feels like really not wanting that or having time for that. I don't feel like you know him yet. I feel like it's somebody like meeting through a friend of a friend. I don't feel like you'll meet him online. I feel like you'll meet him through a connection. And it's true. Everything really does happen at the perfect time. So, Nicole, you're up. Donate under Elizabeth. You're welcome. Okay, my manager, Michael, at work threatened to have disciplinary action taken out against me. Again, I feel like he's a dick. That's like such a simple way of putting it. And I hate like being that like, oh, well, I feel like it's a control issue and like a power play, like when parents gaslight their kids and they're like, if you don't do this, you're going to lose this forever. And then like, they'll never, ever take it away. It's just a means of control. I actually feel like he doesn't have ground to, the feeling is like, he doesn't have anything to hold her to disciplinary action. I think he didn't like that you stood up to him, kind of called him out. It's that feeling of like, I feel like the way they're showing to me is like a tiny woman and like this big, like, man, even if he's not, it's just symbolic of like, kind of being like, just because I'm little doesn't mean you're going to push me around. I feel like HR would look at it and be like, it's just a power play. I actually don't feel like he's going to be there that much longer. I got to be honest with you. I feel like he's going to end up losing his job. Do you know if he has an alcohol problem? I get that feeling too, that maybe he doesn't cope well with life. I don't think he's going to lose his job because of you. I think he's going to lose his job because of him. So either he decides to move on, but it just feels like leaving. Okay. I feel like he'll end up leaving. I don't feel like he's going to be there much longer. I got to be honest with you. So nobody wants that for somebody, but that's just the path I see. I can be wrong. You can pray for him to not lose his job, but that's just what I see. And I'm happy to be wrong, especially in that case. So I need Shaheen, Maria, or Darlene. Shaheen, Maria, or Darlene. I'd like to keep moving. I'd like to be done. Shaheen, my question is, will I have another chance with Chris, or should I let the situation go? I keep hearing let the situation go because he's like, he's another one. Jeez. Very selfish, very like seeing everything this way. Like he can't see somebody's perspectives or emotion. Like it's that feeling of like not being able to understand why you're hurt or why you might be upset. It's like, well, get over it. Like very dismissive kind of feeling. Like I feel like very dismissive in his behavior. Psh, whatever. Thank you, Nicole. So that's just what I feel. I feel like it's like move on, but I feel like what would be in your best interest again is sort of looking at why would I want this behavior back in my life? And listen to me when I say this, you really do deserve better. You really are worth better. Sometimes we have this native self-speak that says like, if this person doesn't want me, then I don't have value. And that's not really what it's about. It's like sort of like sometimes the universe puts it in your way for things to not work out because you have something better coming your way and you deserve something better coming your way, something more vibrationally in tune with the love and the kindness that you give out. And sometimes we get in our head that we want it to work because we feel like failures if we don't. Look, they've done studies, and I talked about this with my mentee. They've done studies on plants and water molecules, and that they respond to positive talk and kindness, and they respond to negative talk and kindness in kind of like, having the water molecules change with the negative, and the plants actually are happier when they're talked to kindly. I got a new little plant here. Like when you talk to them kindly and but your body does that too, right? So I flipped the switch when I work out now. Like I get so excited. I was actually crying with joy the other day because I could do these moves. What is it? Like a pike, like when you use a stability ball and you're in like a plank position and you pike up, I could finally start to do that. And like a one-legged lift using, or one-legged, what do you call it? Bridge up using the stability ball. I was like, oh my God, this is so awesome, body. You're amazing. So like, just start learning to like talk to yourself in a kind manner that like, you're amazing. You're a rock star. You're awesome. You deserve kindness. You deserve love. You are worth better than this. All right, so Danny, will my cousin Richard recover completely from his illness? He's very sick right now. I don't feel like it's going to be complete recovery. I feel like he'll be functional, but I feel like there's like kind of like residual stuff for a while. So they're pulling me a lot to this area and difficulty breathing. I actually feel like, is he breathing? Is he intubated right now or on a tube, or does he have like, there's something about breathing and needing like that. And then I feel like pressure here. So something that could affect respiratory that may not be a direct thing like this or cause shortness of breath. I keep being led to blood issues. So is he iron deficient and anemic or anemic? Pneumonia. Okay. Maybe he feels like he's breathing through a straw. Does he complain of headaches? Is he on oxygen right now? Heart problems and anemia. Okay. It's weird. I keep being pulled towards like almost the way sickle cell anemia is. It's like, I feel like whatever is going on right now with my blood is the biggest issue, is like the biggest contributing factor to my barrier to healing. So like once they pull up, like it's not regular anemia. It's not sickle cell anemia, but there's something where it's like an acute issue with it. And I can't think of the name of it. So forgive me for not being able to remember, but it feels like once they get that under the control, the rest of it kind of pops. I feel like the pneumonia isn't going to be like, that's going to heal with, he may even have like a incentive spirometer right now. That's sort of like that feeling of what I'm seeing, like doing that. If he doesn't have an incentive spirometer, mention for him to get one. His hands are not functioning. So I feel like the blood is like whatever the catalyst is for a lot of this stuff. Once they get that kind of like under control, the rest will kind of fall into place. So I don't feel death, but I feel like long, like never quite perfect. I don't know if he'll need physical therapy, but like it feels like going to like a rehab center or something like that, like needing, like it's a long-term, longer recovery and having sort of residual stuff. I feel like he will survive. I I don't feel like dialysis because it feels like my kidneys aren't necessarily the issue. It feels like the blood thing. There's something they can do for it, but it's not about dialysis. I think that's the nursing like that where, okay, so I said, like I was teaching my mentee, like there are no limitations to the only thing that limits you in your intuition is how you limit yourself. So if you say you can do it, you can do it. Right. And I think, and you're a filter. So whatever your knowledge base is or whatever your experience base is, they use that to their advantage on communication. So I have this science background, so they use that. And I'm grateful for it because, boy, I'd hate to think that all that knowledge went to waste. But yeah, I feel like he will be okay. I feel like it may come to the brink, but comes back. But I feel like long-term issues kind of like on the outset. Does he have an incentives barometer? I really feel like he needs that. Yeah, you can suggest things. You can be like, someone mentioned an incentives barometer. I feel like he also might benefit from sleeping in prone position, so on his tummy. He needs to move more, like they need to have physical therapy for him. So if they're not doing that, it may even be something where connect with a social worker. If he's hospitalized, they have in-hospital social workers. So connecting with a social worker and sort of talking with a social worker about what your concerns are, maybe approaches towards care. So they can have in-hospital physical therapy, maybe even occupational therapy since it's his hands. They might even be able to do both of those. His mother's a nurse. Okay. So I just feel it'll be a long term. Sometimes nurses don't always think about it, especially when it's our family members and we're super freaked out and scared, that we just don't always think like, oh, we should try this. So, but I feel like the anemia is like, once they get over the anemia and like, I don't know if they're giving him high doses of iron or maybe blood transfusions or something like that. Once he gets over that, I feel like the rest of it kind of comes together, because I feel like when you're anemic, you can't oxygenate your blood, right? Your body doesn't have the iron carrying contact to carry the oxygen. So it works against his heart. It works against his lungs. So when they heal that, that's what feels like, then it starts to heal everything else. Okay. So, send love out for you. I don't know. Is that it? Are we done? That's Danny. Darlene, did you ask? You're welcome, Danny. Okay, I took some. Oh, there you are. Darlene, are you still here? I'll refund your money if I don't get to you, because I want to get going. I was just sending out light to all of you and your family members, even the ones that are being stinky pot pies, to heal them. Darlene, if you're not here, I'm gonna have to leave, and I'll refund your money. Somebody else sent $10. Did you get your 2 questions in? Darlene, where are you? Oh, Anna. I think I answered her question. Okay. So I don't know. This is much better timing. I'm happier with this for sure. Darlene, if you're not here, I'm going to refund your money. I don't want to take it if you didn't get your question answered. You're welcome, Dulcie. So then I'll figure out how much we earned. And what I might do is even do a couple weeks where I also want to do something for us, because it's Child Cancer Awareness Month. And I'm not going to donate directly to that, but I might. Well, the reason being is that I have a friend that is a childhood cancer survivor, and he's literally like a miracle, 1 in a million. And he has something called the Ability Center, and it's like this really cool foundation that they just built this ramp where people of all abilities can make it all the way. It's at Bradford Beach in Milwaukee. Can get from the sidewalk all the way down to the shore of Lake Michigan. It's not really a shore, I guess it's a, but it's big enough, whatever. And like they can go down there with their wheelchairs, and it's the coolest. And they have he's also figured out wheelchairs that people can use. Darlene, you're here. Okay, good. What's your question, love? So I think it's such a great thing. And he's I met him when he was 14, I think maybe 15, because he was a little bit behind in school, and he was still going through, he's had, I don't know, 50 knee rebuilds. And I mean, he's just this rock star of a soul. And I'm super grateful to get to know him. And this is such a great thing. If you look it up. It's so amazing. Darlene, what's your question? Hurry up. He was on a couple of weeks ago. He was. He's just if you research him, he's just he is such an inspiration. He really is a 1 in a million survivor. And it is not I would love to say his doctors, whatever. It is really by the grace of God. I think that God really, and I don't talk about this a lot, but I think he was really meant to be doing what he's doing and inspire others, and to really change kind of the way we view ability. And will Buddy and I ever be together as a couple? Oh, they're such assholes. Sorry. I'm guessing you're a smart aleck. The first thing I heard was yes, but not in this lifetime. I feel it's interesting. I feel you guys have a connection, and you probably feel this way of having, knowing him from forever. The first time I met him, I just felt I knew him and connected with him. It just feels having this connection, and just timing never seems to match up. Does that make sense? It feels for whatever reason, it feels timing never matches up this time around. It's probably not what you want to hear. Hi, Emily. Darlene, you're awful quiet. I'm waiting to see if you write something. But this time I'm going to send for sure 30%. I might bump up to 50% of the proceeds to the Community Bank of New Jersey. Darlene, are you here still? Are you cooking or doing something else and this? He really does. And he just even when we were in high school, he was just this guy that everybody was a fan of Damien. He just always had just this something about him. Darlene, are you there? Are you doing other things, Darlene? I just feel getting caught in between things. So I'm going to leave it at that then, because unless you pop in here real quick. When I first got out of nursing school, that was one of my charge nurses was named Darlene. She had this bright hair, bright red hair. And this was in Texas, and she'd always call everybody Lovey. Lovey. But she knew her stuff, and she was a firecracker. I really liked her. She was very, very smart. One of these, like, had been a nurse forever. And this was a unit that didn't have, like, it was not a teaching hospital. So it was an all RN unit. Trying to tell stories until Darlene wants to jump on here. All right. This has been long enough. Darlene, I'm sorry. I really, good night. Have an amazing week, Am. Darlene, have a wonderful night. So next time what I'll do is maybe I'll open a window. If you sign up on my email list, I can send out a thing of when to open. I'm going to open up the window to, purchase so I can have a list ahead of time. Like I'll do it earlier in the day or something like that. Not a huge window of time, but just to kind of get us rolling. Darlene, hi. Did you hear my response? I may do that, but that was sort of also spiritual seeker. The other part of it was that I want to do the raffle of full reading instead of just a question. We'll see how we do it. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll have, but I'm trying to, like, again, this is like helps me get it down. I need to find get the bugs out and kind of be a little bit more efficient about it. I hope I don't lose people. I hope people $5 is a nominal fee. And but go to my website and sign up for the email list. I'm not spamming you. I'm not going to do a whole lot of, it's really just so I can actually like send out a notification. Like, if you want to sign up, now's the time to sign up for the next set of, the weekly, whatever, to get your question in. And then we'll go through them that way, or to, put your name on the list. A portion is going to charity. I'm not doing this to be a money grubber or anything, but it's a nominal fee. I've been doing free for over a year. And I'm still, like, if you sign up with your email, you'll be put in a lottery for a free 30-minute reading. And it's not just like the one time you sign up. It's literally like you'll continue to get to have an opportunity every month. I'll do a new free reading. But the real ones will stay. And if not, then I lose people, It is what it is. I'm just trying to find another way to not be on here for 2 hours at night. So thank you, as always, for your support. I hope my website is myspiritualfriend.com. I'll make it really easy. Everything's My Spiritual Friend. All right. So, hey, I hope that you're having a better day. I think I answered your question, but I don't remember because I saw you last night. You'll have a good night, okay? Have a wonderful week.